Ooh, the dirty little secret that most hypnotherapists don't talk about. No, no, not that secret. Taking on the wrong kind of clients. I'll say that again. This dirty little secret is that you're taking on the wrong kind of clients. Now, let me be very specific here. I'm not talking about clients that ethically you wouldn't take on, people with medical issues that need to go and see a GP or somebody at a higher level than ourselves. I'm talking about the clients that you take on because you're desperate for clients. We've all been there, we've all done it, but it's time to stop. It's time to take a step back and think about the kind of clients you're taking on. Now, you might not understand what I'm going on about, but I've got a quote here that I really love by a guy called Anurag Prakash Ray. And the quote is this: no one can solve the problem for someone whose problem is they don't want their problem to be solved. Let me say that again. No one can solve the problem for someone whose problem is they don't want their problem to be solved. This is what I'm talking about. Now, let me give you an example. I turn down clients or potential clients on a regular basis. Why? Well, first of all, it's generally not the client that phones me. I get a lot of partners ringing me up saying, "Hey, Paul, can you help my husband because he's got X, Y, Z problem?" And the first question I ask is, does your partner know they've got a problem or accept they've got a problem? And then the person who's contacting me goes, no, they don't think it's a problem for them. And you know what? I say, I'm really sorry. I can't help them. Because if someone doesn't accept that they've got a problem, how can I help them? Now, you might be thinking, Paul, that's a conclusion you've come across. Well, it's not. And I'll give you a very clear example. Let me think. This is about 5 years ago. I got a referral from a very good friend of mine from a colleague who wanted to stop smoking. He came to see me, and well, first of all, this was before I had strategy calls set out where I kind of screened my clients. So he came along and said, Paul, you know what? I really desperately need to stop smoking. I'll do anything to stop smoking. Okay, great. So he gave me some money and we did some work. And he was, oh, that's it. I'm stopped. I'm not doing it again. And I walked him down to his car and he reached into his car. He grabbed a packet of cigarettes and he threw them on the floor, stamped on them, picked them up and put them in the bin. And I'm thinking, yeah, great, fabulous. Then guess what? I'd booked him in for a follow-up session and he didn't show. So I contacted him and he gave me some kind of bullshit excuse about blah, 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 blah. I went, okay, no problem. Let's rebook. I rebooked him. He didn't show up again. And I'm thinking, okay, what's going on here? Anyway, long story short, I contacted my friend who'd made the initial referral and I asked a couple of questions. I said, does this person have a partner? And she said, yeah. He's got a girlfriend and he loves her really deeply and everything. Ah, right. Does this girlfriend smoke? Oh, no, she's a non-smoker. She's never smoked. She absolutely hates smoking. I'm like, did the girlfriend encourage him to come and see me? And it turns out that she'd been pushing him to stop smoking and he had decided to try everything to convince her that he'd stop smoking. So when he came to me, he was quite willing to pay me, my fee to demonstrate to his girlfriend that he tried everything and nothing worked because the guy had no intention of stopping smoking. Now, knowing what I know today, I might have been able to do something different, but I think it's unlikely because the guy, for him, smoking wasn't a problem. He didn't have an issue with it. He enjoyed it. It gave him pleasure and all the other kind of stuff. So I was banging my head against a brick wall. If you're taking on clients and you're not getting results, you've got to ask yourself this question. Are you doing a diagnostic, a strategy call, whatever you want to call it, before you take the money off this person and really find out if they do actually have a problem, that they are motivated to get rid of. Because if they're not, you've got no chance of sorting that problem out. If you go into some of the groups on Facebook, anxiety, depression, this, that, and the other, you'll see lots of people talking about their problem, and it's almost like a competition. Oh, no, I'm depressed. I've tried to kill myself 15 times. Only 15 times. I've tried to kill myself 27 times. And seriously, my depression is worse than your depression. My anxiety is worse than your anxiety. It's incurable. I've lost count of the number of groups I've been kicked out of because I dared suggest that there was a way out of this problem, that there was a solution to this problem. Those people had become identified. It was part of their, part of their identity. So they didn't want to give it up because that's who they were. And if you took that away from them, who would they become? They'd become so attached to the issue that they had, they didn't want to let it go. And no amount of cajoling or persuasion or demonstrating that you could help these people is going to work. We can only help people that accept they've got a problem, accept that they've got an issue, and they want to resolve it. So save yourself a lot of self-loathing, self-anger, frustration by not taking on people who don't want to be helped. You're banging your head against a brick wall. I guarantee that if you're taking on people because you're desperate and you'll take on anyone, you're going to be frustrated, especially if you're selling your services in packages of 3, 4, 5, 10 sessions. It ain't going to work. And at the end of the 10 sessions, you're going to go, oh, God, what can I do? I've tried everything. I've tried this, I've tried regression, I've tried that, I've used this script, that script, the other script. Nothing's worked. Well, this is part of the problem. The client doesn't recognize or accept they've got a problem, or they know they've got a problem, but they're happy with it and they don't want to get rid of it because that's who they are. Let me give you one more example. I had another referral way back, and this person had, well, I'm not going to give you the exact thing, but let's say it was OCD. Yeah. And this person needed to get out of the house to go and ply their trade, to go and do their job. They've not been out of the house for 2 years. And I set up an appointment and, to do a consultation. We did the consultation. Oh, yeah, Paul, great. I really want to work with you. It sounds fabulous. When can I start? So I booked them in for a session. And guess what? My friend told me, the person that referred this person to me said, they won't show up. They'll make an excuse the night before and they won't show up. I went, no. They are, they're really keen, really motivated. But guess what? She was right. The night before the session we'd booked in, I got a phone call saying, Paul, I'm really sorry. This has happened and I can't make it. Oh, okay, no problem. Shall we rebook it? Yeah, let's rebook it. So we rebooked it for about a week later. And my friend said, same thing, not going to happen. And I went, how do you know? Because I've invited this dear friend of mine to come and stay with us for a weekend or come for dinner. And it's yes, right up until the night before, and bang, they don't show up. And again, I sat back and thought about this, and I realized that this person had become identified with the problem. That was who they were. That was who they were known as. I am the person with X, Y, Z. And they couldn't separate their thing from who they were. And, their life was suffering because of this. But they didn't mind. They didn't care because that's who they'd become. And until somebody is motivated enough to want to make the changes, we can't do anything about it. So I would strongly suggest that you stop taking on people willy-nilly. You have some kind of, let's call it screening. You have some kind of process before you meet with them and take their money, before you start working with them, to actually find out if they are really motivated to make the changes that you can help them with, that they really want to get rid of this problem. They really want to deal with this thing. And if somebody refers you to their friend because their friend has got a problem, the first thing you must do is talk to that friend and find out if they believe they have a problem. And secondly, if they want to fix that problem. Because they don't, again, you're banging your head against a brick wall. This is the dirty little secret that hypnotherapists don't want to talk about. Taking on people because they're desperate. Stop being desperate. Find yourself a process that actually works. Do your sales and marketing, get yourself out there. So you've got people coming into you and you're going, you're outreaching. Outreaching, is that a word? I don't know, but you're reaching out to people. Because if you get desperate, you're going to take on the people that you know you shouldn't be taking on. And then you have build this cycle of regret and disappointment and frustration. Now, ACH helps you eliminate all of that because it gives you complete freedom to work with people once you've found the right kind of people to work with. Once you've found, people who do really want to get rid of things, and that you start treating the root cause and not the symptom. That was one of my mistakes was, the stopping smoking, I thought was the issue. Now, it turns out that it wasn't the issue because I didn't want to stop smoking. But perhaps, and I'm not going back in saying, well, I regret this, but perhaps if I'd asked different kinds of questions at the time, I might have been able to help him with the stopping smoking. Yeah, but it's unlikely. So look, that's the end of today. Do not take on people because you're desperate, especially if you don't think you're able to get a result. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment below or send me DM and I'll respond in another video. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day and I'll speak to you soon. Bye now.